Hey Bagger, can you just net this out for me? I just want to know when to buy, when to sell, when to sell, when to buy, on a time frame, on an interval of my choosing. Can you just net it out for me? Yes, I can. In fact, if you watch for just the next few minutes, this video may very well change your trading life. I can't backdate this, folks. It is what it is. Let me introduce myself first. I am Bagger Don at Stock Market Caddy, and today is December 14th at about 10:30, a Saturday morning. Be sure to visit our site. Be sure to push the like button if you like this. Be sure to push the notification button, because sometimes not only do we post videos, we also post up live. But this is the time of year where many times people will look back and see the opportunities missed, or maybe the opportunities made. But it's also a time to look forward. What did I do right last year? What did I do wrong? What do I need to do this coming year? Let me show you some of the major markets here. The VIX, volatility, the S&P futures, NASDAQ futures, Dow futures, Russell futures, gold, silver, oil, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and nat gas. Now, the markets are the markets. The futures markets are some of the most leveraged. And what are people speculating on? The future. That's why we like to focus on them, because many times we get, if our interval is a daily, we get a cheat of a few days over the ETFs and over the public markets. On a weekly basis, a few weeks, and on a monthly basis, sometimes a few months. So it's a bit of a cheat. What is this tool? This tool is SMC for Stock Market Caddy Swing Machine Plus. It is our proprietary tool running on the TradeStation proprietary tool called Radar Screen. Now let me show you something. Let's go in and focus on the ES, because then you can slow this down and go and look at any one of these markets. I won't take the time to comment on each one, but let's look at the ES on a monthly basis. 169 months ago, yes, back at 5 p.m., December 31st of 2010 was the monthly signal to get long the S&P at 1524.50. In fact, I remember that number. That's when Guy Adami on CNBC was saying there was a market bubble. Yes, he's long since given up on that. But that's what he was saying. If you had purchased one mini contract, you would be up 296% return between the entry price and where it is today. But with a leverage mini, yes, almost $250,000. And you can see on the trend, it's very strong. And on the fear gauge, it's at 70. It could go much higher. It could, folks. And you could go broke trying to fade it too soon if you put on too much money and if you are too patient. You see, these monthly signals, you need to be patient for when they happen. And sometimes they happen on the dark side. Here's nat gas. 2 years ago, it went short. At what price? 580. At 5 p.m. back in 2023. There will be a long-term investment in nat gas. It just isn't there yet. This is a beautiful tool for taking out all of the noise. You don't need me or anyone else trying to interpret time cycles, moving averages, stochastics, MACDs, or the narratives on any. And by the way, here's oil. Oil is still long, 43 months ago at 48.44, and it's merely dipping, and it is in the middle part of the range. Now you might say, but Bagger, It's a monthly. How am I going to know when it's in euphoria? How am I going to know when it's in panic? Well, you would need to have this tool on your desktop, and or you would need to be subscribing, because we will show you this tool. Now, we won't show you the monthly every night, but we will show it to you once a month for sure. Now, if you have some diversification, not in what you hold, but in your skill set, do you know there are still some beautiful trades to be made here? Like what, Bagger? Well, maybe with the NASDAQ at 70, what if you were to come down well below, and sell a put credit spread? And what if you were to go much, much higher and sell a call credit spread, creating a monthly iron condor option? You define your risk, and while you're waiting for the trade to come to you, the bigger trade of capturing the trend, you capture the premium in the time decay. You see, when you sell an iron condor, you put time on your side, and the premium, the decay, doesn't cost you money, it accrues to you. What a beautiful way to go. Now, once you get good with that, you can also certainly drop down to a weekly, and let's change all the symbols to a weekly view. And you can do the same thing on a weekly. And you can look at these signals too, by the way. The weekly on the NASDAQ was 90 weeks ago, back in March of 2023. Pretty extended. Now, do I see a weekly entry here? I don't. They don't come every week. This one's 58 weeks, 90 weeks, 56, 53. So you need to have access to this tool, either through the video, or ideally on your desktop. Now, you don't have to check it every minute of every day, but maybe once a week, and or build an alert to send you the signal. But as well, you could be doing weekly interval iron condors and collecting premium when you wait for the bigger trend, whether that trend is going to be down or going to be up. And yes, you can change this and become more active if you change it to a daily. You're going to get more opportunity. Now, we don't win on every single trade, and it's not possible to trade without a drawdown. But there are some wonderful opportunities being presented by Swing Machine, and with your skill set, your diversification of knowing what to trade, how to trade, can give you a leg up on everyone else. And yes, you could change all of these to an intraday. Now, one of the more popular time frames is 13 minutes. Why? Because if you divide between 9:30 and 4 the number of minutes, 13, the normal session hours, 13 fills that window perfectly. Think of it as a candle. And what do we see? Nat gas, yes, has been short for 48 13-minute segments, but boy, we're getting down into the panic area. There might be a wonderful opportunity next week to do what? To buy nat gas. The rest of the market, on a 13-minute, it's doing what it's doing. When you trade intraday, it isn't that it's necessarily easier. It's just that you get more opportunity to learn and to hone your craft. You still need to be patient, disciplined, and did I say patient and disciplined? Critically important. Of course, if you want to trade intraday, you will need to be an annual member to Stock Market Caddy, because it's not possible for me to be tweeting out or texting out alerts for you to act on intraday. You need and must have the tools on your desktop. And more valuable than any one tool is the insight, the skill set that we try very, very hard during the Q School 3+ weeks to impart to you. We can only impart that information to you, though. It'll be up to you to practice, 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 and to develop your own swing. I'm Bagging On. This is Stock Market Caddy. Feel free to give us a shout. It's going to be a great year the next year. Tremendous volatility. We specialize. Our goal is to extract money from the cash flow, minimizing the emotions of fear and greed through the mechanization, through the computerization of our trades, and thereby maximizing our time, our capital, our profits, and most certainly our profit factor. Have fun, everyone.